guys, welcome back. It's been a while. I apologize for that. I've been moving around quite a bit. With the military, you know, you just kind of scoot all over the place, and I moved a couple of times and just haven't had the time to put together a video. So I want to try and get this together. I found all my stuff and just been watching a lot of YouTube videos over the past I don't know, several weeks, and just felt like it was time to get back again. And so I decided to pull this camera out and kind of go over some of the stuff I've been doing, some of the stuff I'm planning on building. May even try and put together some how-I-dos as opposed to how-tos, because I do things a little bit different sometimes. But just kind of wanted to go over some of the stuff that I'm planning on hopefully being able to do. It just takes so much work. I just gotta say this, it just takes so much work to put one of these videos together, and you know, these guys that do this, man, they just need a pat on the back. These guys that can do this stuff weekly, I can't do it weekly. It just it just takes a lot of work, and you have to use your modeling time or whatever to do that. But I try, and this is my way of giving back. So I just kind of, like I say, just want to try and put something together, get up here on YouTube, show you guys some stuff. I've been finding quite a bit of stuff over the past couple of months, and built several models and stuff, and I'll show you some of these here in a little bit.
This here is a Walthers kit. I'll try and get up here who the manufacturer is. Let me put it on the screen or mention something about it, but this is a Walthers ranch house. I actually got a couple of these. I like the way they go together and how they look. Probably should get them a little bit closer. I've got the dollar bill to try and help with the size as it is. Most of the time I see these listed in magazines, or I've never seen them in person until I actually get them in the mail, so it's kind of difficult for me. I'm finding that a lot of the scale is a little different, even between manufacturers. The scales might be a little bit different. This here is a Walthers kit put together. You know, I'm not real sure where the stuff will go on a layout, but I know about what it's going to be used for. So, but kind of wanted to go through this. The rest of this video is just kind of showing some of the models that I have, and the reason I'm doing this is because, like I say, most of what I see on YouTube, and don't see a lot of the models. A lot of people get into the trains and the rolling stock, and you know, you see people's layouts, and that's what they're focused on, and they don't really show the models so much. You'll see them going by as they're showing their locomotives or their rolling stock or whatever, but never really get any good detail on the buildings unless you find a how-to to put one together or something. So this is also a DPM kit. This is a nice kit. I mean, it's just standard building. I've actually got a couple of these. I'm probably going to get a third one because the little square part of that is a separate piece you can use, and you can actually create two different buildings out of this one. But the DPM models are pretty awesome. And you'll see on the rooftops, there's several different things I've got up on the rooftops. Those are put together and sold by Walthers. Rooftop details. Comes with air conditioners and all kinds of different things. It's if you're putting together models, I'd highly recommend that. If you're interested in putting roofs together, this is also a DPM kit. Many of these came with Woodland Scenics city package that they sell. I think I have a brief overview or something on the side here on the channel. This here, I believe, is a Walthers kit. This one goes to that kit actually went together really well. This is a DPM kit. You see a lot of the rooftop details on here. There's air conditioners and things like that. Now the water container is another container thing that is put in. A little vent down here on the side of the building. All this is from the Walthers rooftop details. You can see the line, the power line or whatever going into the junction box. That's all my stuff. They don't provide that, but that's easy enough to do. It has a sheen. I need to get some dull coat. I can't get dull coat here. It's just they can't ship over these cans of paint, so I can't seem to find dull coat here. This is a scratch build. This is a North Texas kind of a little town and country, I guess is what they call them. But this was an older building they converted into. I believe it was a house that they converted into a little convenience store. But going back and talking about the trains and seeing different things on people's layouts, I just see so many videos. I'm constantly looking every day to try and find videos on people's models and what they've done and how they put the stuff together and what you always see. And of course it makes sense, you know, model railroading, you're always seeing model trains and locos and their rolling stock. You know, that's the stuff that people want to put on their videos. This little building is a little scratch build. There's several of these that I've got that are made out of balsa and cardboard. This is actually a little tool shed that after I put these together, started putting them together, I wanted something to go with a little barn that I made that you'll see later. But these actually, those go together quicker than some of the kits. But this is another little scratch build. I'm from North Texas, and a lot of the buildings out there, they're converted houses. This is from a junkyard I used to go to whenever I was a kid. This is modeled fairly close to what the real place was like. It's called Cherry Avenue. It's a used auto parts, and you get scrapyard. You just go out there and pick apart. And I always enjoyed going out there and hanging out, so I went ahead and put this one together. I got this one lighted with what I call a light kit, which I'm making some changes to if anybody's following those videos and actually got started on any of that stuff. Man, I sure would like some feedback or any assistance or help on that. This also is a scratch build. It's balsa wood and cardboard, and it actually has a stucco, which I did the stucco siding with, I think it's a putty, you know, you fill holes in sheetrock with, and it actually came out pretty decent. This is a little bar located in North Texas near where my wife grew up, and whenever I'd go over and see her, I'd see this little bar over. I thought it was the cutest little place, so I got it lighted with some little disco looking lights or something like that. This here, I believe, is also a Walthers kit, and this is actually a nice little kit too. It's unfortunate though that it's got its own look. You can't have too many of these. The air conditioner and everything on top, aside from the chimney, is all scratch built. I like this little building. Went together real nice, and it's lighted as well. I'll probably have to redo some of the lighting in that as well. But like I say, a lot of these kits, they're Walthers, they're DPM and City Classics. This is also a little scratch build, I'm sure you can tell. It's balsa and cardboard. Yeah, and it's also lit. These are really easy to put together. I might just try and do one of these, maybe put a video together how I do. Like I say, it doesn't take long at all to do that. This is a Walthers kit. These are really good kits. This and the little ranch houses, they go together really nice. They're simple, quick and easy. This one here, must have hit some super glue or something to glaze the windows. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to replace the windows or not, but This one came out pretty nice. All these models, I paint the panels inside and out. I'll paint the insides black and paint the outside. I cover all the plastic with paint. A couple reasons. I'm planning on lighting all my buildings, so anything inside the building I paint so that the light won't show through. I've seen some layouts they have like that where people leaving plastic, just drop a light in and the whole building glows. It just looks weird. I believe this is I can't remember if this is in the Woodland Scenics set or not, but this glaze on here is really kind of weird. This roof will be redone, or I need to add to or change it up. But I can really see the sheen on these, and it's kind of, the video really does some changes. Also with the weathering, it really has a tendency to bring the weathering out a lot, and it just doesn't look that way in real life. So I've completed several models. I don't have a layout, but I do know that I'll have one eventually. So I'm kind of in the process of putting everything together in hopes that I'll have a use for everything. This is a scratch build too. This is a little house located in North Texas near a cotton field that the workers would stay in during the season. And it's a scratch build and it's lit as well. Just a little house. I think had a little air conditioner and everything on the side, scratch built as well. It's all made out of balsa. I hope this isn't boring you. I hope that you get some use out of this. I know that, man, I would just would have killed to see a video like this whenever I was first started putting some of these together to understand the different buildings and get recommendations. This is a building, comes from Woodland Scenics, that little city package. It's a nice little building. A lot of these DPM, man, they're just 4 walls. You know, I paint the 4 walls, glue them together, paint the outside, set the bricks, set, whatever. I try to leave a lot of the roofs on the inside white so that whenever I do light them, they'll reflect. Some of the roofs, like you see here, they're not completely done. Again, I don't know if they're going to be foreground buildings, background buildings, or and so some of them I may or may not have fully detailed. Some of them all detailed just to have some fun detailing a building, but in all I'm not quite sure where they'll go, so I try and just get them as complete as I can, and or as much as I feel like I might need to get them complete, and then whenever I decide where they're going to go on a layout, then I'll determine how detailed they'll be. Or I do know that I'll have a rough part that's going to be a little bit run down. So several of these, this is a DPM kit, I believe, that comes with the Woodland Scenics, the city set. There's a few of these, and I actually purchased outside of that from DPM a few more, and this is part of a street scene that I'll be doing. I think I pull a few of these buildings out. This is one. There's like a set of 6 of these that'll go along a city street, and I've kind of started detailing some of this. Man, that sheen looks bad on here. I can really see this looks like it's shiny. Yeah, but this is a whole building set that'll go on a street scene. I don't know if I got all of them in here or not, but because they all pretty much look alike. But again, like I say, if you're just getting started in this, and if you haven't put a DPM kit together, just buy one. They're pretty inexpensive, and you at least get a view of what they're about. And I might put one together and make it how I do or something. There's several out there on YouTube already, but I may do these a little bit different. I don't know. I know I enjoy watching people put them together just to get different ideas. This is a DPM kit that comes in the Woodland Scenics City set. I keep referring to that. There's 2 different ones. There's an N scale and there's an HO scale set that comes from Woodland Scenics. And I think the HO scale is called City and Industry, and it comes with several of these buildings. If you're just getting started, man, I highly recommend picking that up. It's got several buildings, and you save quite a bit doing it this way, and it gives you a lot of detail parts as well that you don't get buying the individual buildings. Now these two buildings are quite loud. Most all of my buildings are a earth tone color. I don't generally paint my buildings loud colors because they just stand out. I want everything to blend in, but I've got a set of 4 or 5 buildings that'll go into this this area, very specific. That I'm going to say it's probably like a New Orleans looking scene. I think everybody's seen this one. I believe this is a Walthers kit. I'm not real sure, but I do know that this one came with the City and Industry set as well. But there's quite a few buildings here. I've got quite a few that I've put together over the last year or two, and I'm hoping that, you know, just seeing how they're constructed, and talk a little bit about where they come from and who makes them, and might help somebody just getting started in this, or somebody looking for new buildings. This one here turned out okay. The brown is just a little bit too deep. It's too dark. So I don't know if I'll use this one or not. Probably will. Probably put it with those other ones, but the real loud ones. But so you can see how the brown is. I found that doing the window seals a lighter color than what the building is really makes them pop, and my recommendation is to, anytime you're putting a building together, try and do that. Try and, you know, make those window seals a little lighter than the rest to pop those out. I've got a few coming up here. You can see how this brown is on this one. They just don't pop. The brown is just too dark. And in here, especially in this video, I mean, it's just, it seems to make the darker things dark, like the you can see the weathering on the windows. It just looks dark. It could be my camera too. But anyway, this is that's about it. I mean, go through and show you some more buildings here. Again, most of them are from DPM or Walthers. If you have any questions on them, you know, just let me know. Leave me a message. If there's anything else you want to see more detail on, you know, let me know. Leave me a message. I'll try and get some up here. Of course, you can tell this is a DPM kit. There's a couple here coming up. There's a larger building that's a Walthers kit that's pretty nice. A couple of them larger Walthers kits. I hope this isn't too boring, but you know, like I say, I absolutely would have and could sit and watch this early on whenever I was putting these buildings together, because it really helps me get perspective on size and who makes them. And so I've seen several buildings on people's layout that I really like, but you know, it's like as their locomotives, you know, they're shooting their locomotive, and you see the building in the background, you think, hey, that's a nice little kit, you know. You don't know anything about it. Nobody talks about their buildings so much. Really wish people would go into more detail on their layouts, about their actual layout, instead of the locomotives. I can go read about the locomotives. I can see a loco and know who makes it, and pretty much, and go read about those. But seeing these kits put together and how they're laid out, who makes them, and it's kind of difficult. It's another DPM kit. I really do like the DPM kits. I guess you can tell that. Oh yeah, I kind of did this to kind of show. I've got several of these that are apartments, and so they'd all just go in a row like this. I think they look nice together. And you see, like I say, I think, oh, yeah, see, this one has the cardboard inside to help with the windows, and so you can't see through it. I've done that with a few of the buildings. This one was kind of interesting. I kind of toyed around with this a little bit. Actually, on the top, you can see it's supposed to be copper. I actually got some of that copper leaf and put the copper leaf down, and then came back and then painted over it, you know, in different places, light to kind of give it that coppered look. Or maybe it was a copper leaf that, you know, you put down. It's just really super thin copper, and I glued that on there, and you can kind of see where some of it's, you know, rubbed off with the paint, so you'll see a little bit of the copper leaf in there. Really made the. Really got to finish out the roof on this one too. But this is also a DPM kit. This one's, I think, is sold separately. I don't think you get that with that Woodland Scenics set. It's a pretty good size model too. It's a that'd be good for, you know, like a small town, a city center, maybe a bank or something. It's a nice. It's a real nice looking little building. You see I got some of the decals in there and stuff, because I know that it's a pretty building, so I know that one I'll probably have in the front somewhere. This is also a scratch build. It's a pretty big barn. It's actually based on one that I've seen in Texas, and it's a pure scratch built, balsa wood and cardboard, and the tool shed actually goes with this, and you kind of get an idea how big this barn is. There you go. That's how big that barn is. It's a pretty good sized barn. You can probably put 4 or 5 full size tractors and things in there, but that's a neat little job. And I have no idea where I would put that, but I just thought it'd be kind of neat to model. Of course, from Texas, you know, you gotta have that big old Texas flag out there somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure I'll probably light this one as well. This is the Walthers stockyard. Railroad. I'm planning on a lot to do with cattle. Being in North Texas, I remember seeing all the trucks and these feedlots. We get to smell these feedlots quite often when the wind was blowing just right. These are really nice kits. They're really delicate. I've seen them in white. On some other layouts, I remember them all being brown. I never really remember ever seeing a white one in North Texas, but they're pretty white as well. Got track marks and stuff on these already. I know I keep saying it, this dull coat, but all this stuff will get a nice spray whenever I get it. Now this was interesting. This MT Arms Hotel comes with this single unit, but they're designed in a way that you can set them together to form one building. I figured these would be nice for a street scene. You can set them in this way, or you can set them, like if you had 4 of them, you can put them in a complete square and run one roof, and it'll appear that it's one big square building. But they're set up kind of nice where you can line them up this way. DPM models, and they go together real nice, and they're quick, simple building. These I went ahead and threw in here. I had the dryer on here early on, first couple models, and these go with my dryer. This I think everybody's seen, and it's like on every layout I've ever seen. So, but I know I'll probably, you know, I've got so many buildings now. I don't know how much room I'll have, but I'm sure I need a few of these. I do remember passing several of these in North Texas quite often. So this building here, I really like the way this building came together. And if you don't have one of these on your layout, if you got room for it, it's a fairly good sized model, but it's a really nice model. it's two separate pieces. You got the main building, and then you have the second part, which is I guess the actual freight house. I think this would be the office part, but you can kind of see that even if you separated these two pieces, you could have a couple of different buildings out of these. But good model, really good model. I really like this model. It's real easy to put together, and it just looks good. It really looks good. I've kept the doors taped in because I'm definitely going to have some trucks. I've got a bunch of autos and trucks and stuff that'll go in a scene with this. So, but I'm not sure which doors the trucks will be parked on. So I've left some of the doors taped and not glued in here. And oil, of course. These are oil platforms for refinery, tank cars to empty or fill the tank cars. These are very delicate too. Some of the stuff gets so small. Some background. Need some background buildings and some background. And these are nice too because you can set them up in different ways. This is a long version, but you can do actually short version, which is only two windows wide. This one here. These background buildings go together real easy. I mean, these are an afternoon talking about gluing them together and stuff. Really putting these models together, I spend more time painting the walls and stuff and detailing, even more so than actually putting the models together. This one went together real nice too. They're just real easy. It's another DPM model. I've got a section that's just going to be a really run down section, and this is kind of showing how I'm setting some of those buildings up. I need some more work on this roof. These buildings will all be lit as well. You see all these buildings, all the walls are painted inside and out. I'm just so afraid I'm going to get lights in these, and so the light's going to shine through. This is a nice little building as well. Went together pretty easy. Added my own little signage. They gave me the decals. I believe this is with that Woodland Scenics kit as well. This is a neat model. There's another gentleman that's got this one where he cuts that in half, and it works really good. It's a background building, taking it and cutting it in half. I've thought about getting another one just to try and follow his steps and see how it comes out. That's a good little building too, though. DPM, Walthers, City Classics. I'm just now getting some City Classic models. They seem to be pretty decent. This building, I don't know. I look at this building, and that building to me just looks large, and that's kind of what I'm showing here. The doors and windows are all the same size. It's just a large building, I guess. Scale-wise, it just seems to be. This is the Ashmore Hotel. I think it's 10 stories, 11 stories. This one was time-consuming with all of the windows, but it looks nice. Got some of the rooftop details going on here. And, not quite sure what I'm going to do with the interior on this one yet, but like I say, it goes together nice. I just about forgot this one. This is a large building. I didn't realize how large this was. This is another one of those reasons why I think a video like this would be great. I was thinking this would be a little bit smaller of a building, but this is a large building. You can see. So it's going to take up some landscape there. But again, all these buildings go together so easy. It's just the painting, the decaling, and the weathering and stuff. Well, guys and gals, I hope this was helpful. See one City Classics building there. I didn't show some of the buildings I have, but I hope I covered quite a few. This is kind of some of the future buildings I'm going to be working on here, and I may try and get some hi-dos up here. Gone through quite a few here. Like I said, I hope it wasn't too boring, and if there's anything any of these buildings you want to see more of, just let me know, and see if I can get something up here to give you some more detail, closer shots or something. And hope to see more of your buildings on your layouts. You guys take care.